Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivashikam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Milidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bhistam Supurakam Guruganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shirupa Patanugam Govinda Abhidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwa Guruncha Divyad Bhagavat Prem Noe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchanda Varanam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Vanshakapatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratabhishe Namah. So now we'll sing Shri Guru Arti Stuti by Srila Govinda Maharaj and dedicated to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj. You want to play kartos? Jaya Guru Maharaja Jati Rajeshwar Shri Bhakti Rakshak Dev-Goswami Sridhar Patita Pavana Lila Bistari Bhuvane Nistari Ladina Hina Pamarajane Tomara Koruna Gana Murati Hariya Preme Bhagavana Jiva Pade Murachiya Sudirga Supibhya Deho Divya Babasrai Divya Gyan Dipta Netra Divya Jyotirmoy Suvarna Suraja Kanti Aruna Basana Tilaka Tulasi Mala Chandana Bhushana Apurva Shri Anga Shobha Kori Jalama Odarya Unata Baba Madhurya Ujwal Achintya Pratibha Snigdha Gambira Udara Jada Jnana Giri Bhaja Divya Dikada Gora Sankirtana Rasa Rasera Ashram Goya Nitai Name Nitya Premomoy Sangopange Gora Dame Nitya Parakasha Gupta Govardhane Divya Lilara Bilasa Gaudiya Charja Goshti Gaurava Bhajana Gaudiya Siddhanta Mane Kanta Vibhushana Gaura Saraswati Spurta Siddhantara Kani Aviskritya Gayatrira Arta Chintamani Eka Tattva Varnanete Nityanava Bhava Shushangati Samanjasha Sabha Prabhava Tomara Satirtha Bharga Sabe Ekamate Rupa Saraswati Dara Dekena Tomate Tulasi Malika Ste Srinama Grahana Deki Sakalera Hoy Prabhu Dipana Koti Chandra Shushi Pala Opara Barasha Koti Chandra Shushi Tala Opara Barasha Gandharva Govinda Lila Mrita Labha Asha Abhichintya Veda Veda Siddhanta Prakasha Sanande Aroti Stuti Kore Dinadasa Abhichintya Veda Veda Siddhanta Prakasha Sanande Aroti Stuti Kore Dinadasa Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj. Jaya Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Page 166, Goprit Vevaranan. Ki jani ki bole tomara, ki jani ki bole tomara damete. Hoinu Sharanagata. No, that's not the right tune. Let's see. Ki jani ki bole tomara damete hoinu Sharanagata. Jani ki bole tomara damete hoinu Sharanagata. Tumi doya moy patita pavana. Tumi doya moy patita pavana patita tarane rata. Barasha amara ematra nath tumi to koruna moy. Tapadoya patra nahimora sama. Amasha guchare boya. Amare tarite kaharo shakati. Abani bitore nahi. Doyala Thakur Goshana Tomara Arama Pamare Trahi Sakala Chariya Asiya Chiyami Tomara Charane Nada Ami Nitya Das Tumi Paraita Ami Nitya Das Tumi Paraita Tumi Gopta Jagannatha Tomara Sakala Ami Matra Das Amara Tari Betumi Tomara Charana Korinu Bharana Tomara Charana Korinu Bharana Amare Nahito Ami Bhakati Vinoda Kandiya Sharana Noda Kandiya Sharan Loya Che Tomara Pai Komi Apara Namiruchidiya Komi Apara Namiruchidiya Palana Koro Hitai Palana Koro Hitai Ki Jani Ki Bole Tomara Damete Toinu Sharanagata We'll start with, okay. Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Shailanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekabaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Mandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanarjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam yena tasma Shri Gurave Namah Mancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the hidden treasure of the sweet absolute, with translation and commentary by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj.
Jai Srila Pavan Janardan Maharaj. Jai.
Okay, this is chapter 2, the constitution of the soul. Sanjaya Vacha Tam Stata Kripaya Vishtam ashru purna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana. Sanjaya said, the Supreme Lord Madhusudana then spoke to the saddened Arjuna, whose heart was filled with pity, his eyes brimming with tears. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastvam Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtam Ashvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Lord said, O Arjuna, how has such illusion overcome you at this crucial moment? This does not befit an Aryan, and it leads not to heaven, but to infamy. Klaibyam masmagama partha naitatvayi upapadyate shudram hridayad durbalyam chakvo tishta parantapa. O son of Kunti, give up this cowardice, for it does not befit you. O great hero, cast off this petty weakness of heart and arise for battle. Arjuna vacha katam bhishma maham shankye dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotshami pujarha varisudana. Arjuna said, O Madhusudan, slayer of the enemy, how can I counterattack shooting arrows at venerable Bhishma and my teacher Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Guru nahatva I mahanubhavan shreyo bhaktum bhaiksham apiyaloke hatvarta kamam stu guruni haiva punjiya bhogan rudera pradigdan. It is better to live in this world and beg without taking the lives of our noble elders and teachers. Otherwise, by killing them, we shall remain in this world only to enjoy their wealth and possessions tainted with their blood. Na chaitad vidma kataram nogaryo yadva jayema yadi vano jayayu yan eva hatvana jijivishamas tevastita pramuke dhartarashtra. I cannot understand which will be better, victory or defeat, for if we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, who now stand before us on the battlefront, we shall not wish to live. Karpanya doshopahata svabhava prichamitvam dharma samudacheta yad shreyashan nischitam bruhitan me sishas teham shadi mam tvam prapanam. Now I am bewildered. What is my real duty? I am losing heart and distraught. So please tell me clearly, what is the best course of action to take? I am your surrendered disciple. Please instruct me. Na'i prapashyami mama panu jad yaj choktum uchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumav asapatnam ridam rajam suranam apichadhi patyam. Even if we gain an unrivaled, flourishing kingdom on earth and sovereignty over heaven, I see nothing to dispel my debilitating grief. Sanjaya vacha evam uktva rishikesham gudakesha parantapa nayotsha iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha. Sanjaya said, thus the valiant, vigilant Arjuna spoke to Krishna, who is Rishikesha, the Lord of the senses of all beings. Then he declared, Govinda, I will not fight, and fell silent. Tamuvacha Rishikesha Prahasan Iva Bharata Senayor Ubayor Madhye Vishidantam Idam Vacha. O Bharata, there amidst the armies, Sri Rishikesha, smiling, spoke thus to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Shri Bhagavana Vacha Ashochan Anvasocha Stvam Pragyavaram Chabashase Gatasum Gatasumscha Nanushochanti Pandita. The Lord said, O Arjuna, you are lamenting for that which is unworthy of grief, yet speaking words of wisdom. The wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Natve vaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipa nachaiva nabhavishyama sarve vayam ataparam. Never was there a time when you, I, or all these kings did not exist. Just as we exist in the present, so have we existed in the past, and shall continue to exist in the future. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyati. As the living being passes through the bodily changes of childhood, youth, and old age, it similarly attains another body at death. The wise are not deluded by this. Also, these are very essential verses. The Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna says that Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipa nachaiva nabhavishyama sarve vayamata param. So there we hear about individuality. Never was there a time when you, I, or all these kings did not exist. Just as we exist in the present, so have we existed in the past and shall continue to exist in the future. Now, of course, many persons interpret the Bhagavad Gita according to their convenience. But here, Krishna is expressing about individuality. When I, you, and all these other persons, all these kings, never was there a time when I did not exist. And never will there be a time in the future when we will not exist. So by pointing out the individuality there, we can understand that the individual soul continues as eternally as a person. And this is a fundamental point of Vaishnava philosophy, because the Bhagavad Gita, the very title Bhagavad Gita is spoken. It's a song of God. It's a song expressed between the Lord and his devotee, Arjuna. So first there's this verse about individuality. Then there's Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyati. As the living being passes through the bodily changes of childhood, youth, and old age, it similarly attains another body at death. The wise are not deluded by this. So, in other words, the wise at the time of death are not deluded because they have already seen how the body of the embodied soul is always changing, and we have witnessed those changes throughout our life because we have seen so many changes of our bodily existence. But the death just represents is just another moment in time where there's another change of body. But in this case, there's no more transition to another stage of bodily existence, at least in terms of this body. At death, it no longer is useful. Then it is discarded, and the soul takes another birth. So Krishna's saying, wise are not deluded by this. Someone who actually has some spiritual knowledge won't be confused and won't be, because we know at the beginning of this chapter, towards the beginning, that Krishna said, while speaking to Arjuna, while speaking learned words, you're mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. The wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. So he's telling Arjuna, yes, you're giving so many arguments why we shouldn't engage in this battle. But these arguments may be valid in many situations, but at the same time, they're not arguments that will always indicate that one can refuse to act even violently according to the plan of the Lord. I mean, the Lord has His plan. And He's said in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada ridharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyatanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijam yaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya shaduskritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavama yuge yuge. Later it will say that. But he says, whenever there's a decline in actually spiritual priorities or what is eternal religion, whenever there's a decline in that, I come or I send my representatives to right that situation. And paritranaya sadhunam, I protect the saintly persons, vinashaya chaduskritam, and those who are causing disturbance, mainly persons of asuric mentality or demonic mentality. The Lord corrects that situation either by changing their mentality or in the case of the battle of Kurukshetra, the divine will of the Lord is to eliminate those persons who are causing disturbance, who were actually a burden upon the earth, to the point that the earth herself felt the weight of these demons. Then Arjuna may present so many arguments, but he cannot change what is the divine will. The divine will is to correct this situation, and he'll nimitta mantram. He will be an instrument in that. Matra sparshas tu konteya shitoshna sukadukada agama payino nityas tam tatikshas tam tatikshava bharata. O son of Kunti, the engagement of the senses with their objects produces the sensations of cold, heat, pleasure, and pain. But these effects are temporary. They come and go. Therefore, O Bharata, you must endure them. So this, sometimes someone may say, heat and cold, happiness, distress, pleasure and pain. Why do we have to tolerate these situations? Well, for one thing, often you can't do anything about them anyway. But even if you could, they are temporary. So are you going to endeavor so much to correct a situation which is at best very temporary? Now, of course, according to our whole advancement of civilization, we are trying to correct many situations. And the scientists are endeavoring, for instance, to extend the duration of life. But they really not so much are concentrated on extending the most productive part of life, which would be youth, but rather they'll seek to extend life so that they can extend old age. All right, well, that can be a situation. But now we see a situation globally that it shows that despite all this advancement, just a very small, microscopic organism today is changing all the civilizations of the earth, is disturbing everyone. So how much can we do to actually control the environment? O son of Kunti, the engagement of the senses with their objects produces a sensation of cold, heat, pleasure, and pain. But these effects are temporary, they come and go. Therefore, O Bharata, you must endure them. Yam ina vyatayanti yete purusham purusharshava samaduka sukam dhiram somritat vayakalpate. O noblest of men, the wise man, who is equipoised in pleasure and pain and undisturbed by these sense experiences, is alone qualified for immortality. Because anything involving the senses is going to cause us some deviation. As soon as the senses interact with their objects of the senses, as it's said, they can carry away the intelligence of even an intelligent person. Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata ubayor api drishtontas Pranayos tattvadarshibhi. Of the asat, destructible object, such as the mutable body and associated phenomena, there is no eternal existence. Of the sat, eternal object, the soul, there is no destruction or change. The nature of each has been realized by the seers of the truth. And this is why the Bhagavad Gita also says that there is a big distinction between those who are on the material level of consciousness and those who are the actual seekers of self-realization. It is said that what is the daytime for the sense enjoyers is the nighttime for those who are seekers or equipoised. And what is daytime for those who are actually searching for some self-realization or some understanding, that will be nighttime for the conditioned souls. In other words, the normal standard for persons is to enjoy their senses. That is what life is all about. Especially today, we can see that everything is shifted to basically a consumer civilization. So what does consumerism means? It means just a heightened level of material enjoyment. But rather than, we used to hear the saying, Srila Prabhupada would speak, simple living and high thinking. Rather than complicating one's existence, one should utilize one's energy for something of more value than just the enjoyment of one's senses. Avanashi tu tadvidi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham anvayasyasya nakaschid kartum arhati. Know that the soul by which the entire body is pervaded is indestructible. No one can destroy the imperishable soul. Antavanta ime deha nitya shokta sharirina anashino prameyasya tasmad yudyashva bharata. The soul is said to be eternal, indestructible, and immeasurable. Only these physical bodies are subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O Bharata. So this second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this is really essential, the very basics of spiritual existence. And this chapter is called the Constitution of the Soul, which is the most, we need this knowledge in order to be able to function. Without some understanding of our real identity, how can we function at all? Ya enam viti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam uboto na vijanito nayam hanti nahanyate. Those who think the living being slays and those who think it is slain are ignorant of the true nature of the soul, for the soul neither slays nor is slain. Najayate mriyate va karachin nayam bhutva bhavita vanabuya ajo nitya shashvatonyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. The soul is neither born nor dies. It has neither been nor will it be created, because it is unborn and eternal. It is ever youthful yet ancient. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam katam sa purusha parta kam gata yati handikam. O Partha, knowing the soul to be indestructible, eternal, birthless, and immutable, how can a person kill or cause anyone to be killed? Vashamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grinati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. As a person adopts new garments, discarding those that are old and worn, similarly, the soul continues to adopt new bodies, leaving those that are old and useless. So, I'll also say about the course of this reading, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, his translations of the verses incorporate commentary along with translation. He translates the verses in a way that reveals the meaning of the verses, and so there is both translation with some explanation included within the nature of Guru Maharaj's translation. And furthermore, I feel that the Bhagavad Gita, if we listen to the sequence of the verses, then this is also what I do when I'm reading the scriptures in the morning too, is let the development of the verses speak for themselves. There are questions and their answers, and the course of the conversation is revealing the answer to the questions. So, of course, we've always heard, as Srila Prabhupada explained it, he said, I'm presenting this Bhagavad Gita as it is, because he said there are many people that utilize the Bhagavad Gita and interpret it in such a way so that they can get their own ulterior motive satisfied by their interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. They may interpret it as in an impersonal way, or they may interpret it so it will support some thesis that they have. That, for instance, so many hundreds of thousands of different interpretations of the Bhagavad Gita. But I have the confidence that the true translation of the Bhagavad Gita, such as what Srila Sridhar Maharaj gives, will give us a clear understanding. So, of course, there's nothing wrong with speaking about the meaning of each verse, but I rather sometimes would like to present the sequence of the verses so that one can capture what is the movement going on within the book itself. How is it developing? So I'll continue in that way, just giving some explanation there. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavaka nachainam klidayantyapu na shoshayati maruta Weapons cannot pierce the soul, and fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it. Similarly, the soul continues to adopt... Weapons cannot pierce the soul, and fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it, and air cannot dry it. So weapons cannot pierce the soul, and fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it, and air cannot dry it. Achedoyam, adayoyam, akledyo, shosha evacha, nitya sarvagata stanur, achaloyam sanatana. Avyaktoyam, achintyoyam, avikaryoyam uchate, tasmad evam vidit vainam, nanu shochitum arhasi. It is said that the soul is indivisible and cannot be burned, moistened, or dried. It is eternal. It reaches all planes, yet remains still, immovable, and ever present. It is imperishable. It is imperceptible, inconceivable, and untransformable by the sixfold transformations, which are birth, death, old age, disease, birth, death, old age, birth, death, growth, sustenance, dwindling, and death. But let's see if we can see these. Birth, existence, growth, maturity, diminution, and destruction. Those are the six transformations. It is said that the soul is indivisible and cannot be burned, moistened, or dried. It is eternal. It reaches all planes, yet remains still, immovable, and ever present. It is imperceptible, inconceivable, and untransformable by the sixfold transformations. Therefore, knowing the nature of the soul is such, there is no reason to lament for it. Now, if I read anything that's different than what's written in the book, let me know, okay? Ata chainam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam tatapi tvam mahabaho nainam shochitum arhasi jatasya idruvor mrityam jatasya idruvor mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyete natvam shochitam arhasi atachainam nityajatam nityam vamanyase mritam tatapi tvam mahabaho nainam shochitum arhasi jatasya idruvor mrityam dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyerte natvam shochitum arhasi. And, O best of warriors, even if you think that the soul is perpetually subject to birth and death, you still have no reason to lament. For one who is born, death is certain, and for one who dies, he must be reborn to undergo the reactions of his past actions. Therefore, you should not lament over the inevitable. Krishna says to Arjuna, and, O best of warriors, even if you think the soul is perpetually subject to birth and death, you still have no reason to lament. For one who is born, death is certain. And for one who dies, he must be reborn to undergo the reactions of his past actions. Therefore, you should not lament over the inevitable. I remember one time one person asked Govinda Maharaj, he said, that such and such a person says that according to calculations at the end of this particular time period, the material world will be destroyed. He said, so the person said to Govinda Maharaj, what is your opinion of that? And then Govinda Maharaj said, I believe he's wrong, that he's not right. Then Govinda Maharaj said later, he asked me, so he said, I have nothing to lose, because if I say he's wrong, that the world will not be destroyed, he says, then when the world is not destroyed. They'll say, oh, he was right. And if I'm wrong and the world is destroyed, there's not going to be anyone to question my decision. So here, and it's not exactly like that, but here Krishna is saying, oh Bharata, when he's saying, and, O best of warriors, even if you think that the soul is perpetually subject to birth and death, you still have no reason to lament. Because even if you're subject to birth and death, then what is the problem? Then there's something that's going on. It's nothing that you can really change anyway. For one who is born, death is certain, and for one who dies, he must be reborn to undergo the reactions of his past actions. Therefore, you should not lament over the inevitable. It's just a natural sequence. If you really believe that the soul is subject to birth and death, then what is the problem? But the indication of Krishna is that that is not the case. The situation is that the soul is eternal and it's only the material body that is subject to birth and death. But if you think the soul is subject to birth and death, then what is there to lament over? You can't, it's a sequence that you can't change anyway.
If you die, you're going to just be born again. So
Yeah, something like that. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktam madhyani bharata avyakta nirani avyakta niranani yeva tatraka paridevana avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nirananyeva tatraka paridevana. O Bharata, when all living beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest between birth and death, and again unmanifest at death, why lament for them? O Bharata, when all living beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest between birth and death, and again unmanifest at death, why lament for them? So continuing with the same argument, if you think the soul is subject to birth and death, then still there's not a problem for you. It doesn't really change anything. And so then Krishna says, which verse are we on? Pitamar.
29.
Okay, so I just skipped ahead. We're just reading 28. O Bharata, when all living beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest between birth and death, and again unmanifest at death, why lament for them? Even if essentially you think that you do not accept these, that the soul is eternal and changing bodies, but when still, if you're thinking that the soul continually changes bodies, then still you have no reason to feel any great concern about this. When all living beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest between birth and death, and again, unmanifest at death, why lament for them? So, why lament for having to engage in this battle, and you're lamenting for persons that you'll have to fight against, your relatives and everything? But either you accept that the spirit soul is eternal and continually changing bodies, or even if you don't accept that, still the embodied soul will, even if you think that the soul is destroyed at the time of death, you'll again have to take another body. If you think that, so Krishna is saying, when all living beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest between birth and death, and again unmanifested death, why lament for them? Just like we see, there may come floods or fire, and sometimes a plant is destroyed. But then again, when rains come, even though the plant is burnt to the ground or destroyed by the floods, then again, when the floods go, when the rain or the fire goes, there's still, then again, the plant will again grow because the roots are still there, still going on. Ascharyavat pashyanti kaschidinam, ascharyavat varati tataiva chanya, ascharyavat chainam anya shrinoti, shudvapi yenam vedana chaiva kaschid, ascharyavat pashyati kaschidinam, ascharyavat varati tataiva chanya, ascharyavat chainam anya shrinoti, Shudvapiyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. Some see the soul as astonishing. Some describe it as astonishing. Some hear of it as astonishing, while others, though hearing about it, know nothing of it. So some see the soul as astonishing. Some describe it as astonishing. Some hear of it as astonishing, while others, though hearing about it, know nothing of it. Dehi nityam avadyoyam dehe sarvasva bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitum arhasi. O Bharata, the soul dwelling within the bodies of all living beings is eternal and cannot be slain. Therefore you need lament for no one. Therefore you need lament for no one. O Bharata, the soul dwelling within the bodies of all living beings is eternal and cannot be slain. Therefore you need lament for no one. Sadharmam api chaviksha navikam pitum arhasi dharmyadi yudayat shreyonyat kshatriyasya navidyate. Sadharmam api chaviksha navikam pitum arhasi dharmyadi yudayat shrenyonyat kshatriyasya navidyate. Moreover, considering your natural duty, you have no reason to waver, since there is no action more auspicious for a warrior than a battle for justice. So how do we know? We see so many battles that may be unjust. How do we know that there's a battle for justice? How can we conclude that? Well, we might take some clue from the fact that Krishna is speaking to his devotee. And Krishna is the Supreme Lord, so he's saying that he's saying, moreover, considering your natural duty, you have no reason to waver, since there is no action more auspicious for a warrior than a battle for justice. And this is a conversation between the Lord and his devotee. It's not just any, cannot be compared to any situation, but this is actually being expressed as the divine will of the Lord. And he says that this is a battle for justice. So he's explaining it that way. Now, anyone can say their particular war or their particular function is in the name of justice. But we have a different criteria for what will be a battle for justice. This is occurring in the presence of the Lord, in the presence of the Lord's devotees, and therefore we will say, yes, this is a battle which Krishna has willed, and is a battle for justice. It is not just an ordinary that everybody believes that they have God on their side whenever there is some kind of a battle, or when there even is a sporting event. They think that they have God on their side. So people have a little piety, and then they'll say, oh, how did you do so well? Oh, because by the grace of the Almighty Lord. We have some persons here who say that too. By the grace of the Almighty Lord. So, yes, someone who's pious, somebody who has some spiritual or religious sentiment will see like that. Yes, it is due to the desire of the Lord. But here, Krishna says that this is very auspicious, this situation, because it is the will of the Lord, and therefore it is a battle for justice. Yadrichaya chopapanam svargadvaram apavritam sukina kshatriya parta labante yudam idrisham yadrichaya chopapanam svargadvaram apavritam sukina kshatriya parta labante yudam idrisham. Commentary. One's natural duty, or svadharma, is of two types, relative or absolute, according to the soul's state of either material bondage or liberation, respectively. In the liberated state, the natural function of the soul is purely spiritual, devotional service for the transcendental pleasure of the Supreme Lord alone. But in the state of material bondage, a person's natural duty possesses mundane attributes. The conditioned soul accepts various births throughout the 8,400,000 species of life according to his actions, until by the influence of piety he obtains a human birth. Then, according to his nature, he may adopt a position and prescribed duty in the God-centered socio-religious system, Daiva Varnashrama, which helps one attain the natural duty of the liberated state. In this respect, the natural duty of the liberated soul is somewhat covered by the relativity of the material world, yet within the God-centered socio-religious system, it is nonetheless considered a person's natural duty as for blessed with the opportunity of such a battle which has come to you like an open door to heaven. So, yet Krishna says, Sarvadharmam paritijam mamekam sharanam vrajahi. He says, you can give up that which is so-called dharma, or which is dharma, which is considered in terms of, as a duty according to one place in society, etc. So, therefore, we do hear some dharma according to the Varnashram dharma system. But at the same time, we hear what is the eternal dharma, or Daivi dharma, the actual engagement of the soul, and that we're not concerned with religious duties or religious formalities, that which is auspicious or that which is inauspicious, as we heard yesterday. We're not concerned with that. We're just concerned with what is our spiritual responsibility, or the Sanatan Dharma, we can say. What is the eternal engagement of the soul? That's of interest to us. That we consider as having more importance. As Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, the whole world can be burning and you don't even have the responsibility of throwing a bucket of water. Your concern is not with... Our concern, of course, we may execute so many responsibilities within this world, especially someone who has so many responsibilities, whether to maintain a family, or to maintain an ashram, or to keep things working. So there's some responsibilities that one has to assume. But we're really, a main consideration will be that responsibility that is given to us by the spiritual master and the devotees, and we'll be concerned about that. Atachet tvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapshasi. But if you choose not to fight this battle for justice, your religious principles will be lost, fame will desert you, and sin will overcome you. But if you choose not to fight this battle for justice, your religious principles will be lost, fame will desert you, and sin will overcome you. But you have your free will. You can choose. But this will be the result. If you don't accept your responsibility and you don't fight for justice, then your religious principles will be lost, your fame will be lost, and sin will overcome you. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya chakirtir maranad atirichyate. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya chakirtir maranad atirichyate. People will speak of your infamy for all time to come, and for the renowned infamy is worse than death. People will speak of your infamy for all time to come, and for the renowned infamy is worse than death. We have always heard that. For one who is honored, infamy is worse than death. Bayadranad uparatam mam shante tvam maharata yesham cha tvam bahumato bhutva yashyasi lagavam. The great warriors who highly honor you will ridicule you, considering that you were afraid to fight. Avacha varams cha bahun vadashyanti davahita nindantastava samartyam tato dukataram nukim. Your enemies will mock you. What could be more painful? Hatova prapapshasi hatova. Let me see, 1 second. Hatova prapshasi svargam chitvava bhokshase mahim tasmad utishta kunteya yudhaya krita nischaya. O son of Kunti, if you are killed, you will attain heaven, and if you are victorious, you will enjoy your life on earth. Therefore, being confident of your success, arise for battle. Sukha duke same kritva lavalabo jaya jayo tato yudhaya yujasva naivam papam avapshasi. Considering pleasure and pain, gain and loss, and victory and defeat to be one and the same, fight. No sin will be incurred by you. So now I'm going to stop at this point, and tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. I'm using this because it makes the letters bigger. Type on the book. This book is very nice. You can carry the whole Bhagavad Gita around in your pocket. That's very nice.
Maharaj, we heard the term science book, The Science of Self-Realization, but you don't hear it so much.
Did it come from what?
Where does it come from?
I believe that probably it's a term that Prabhupada used, science of self-realization. He's speaking of self-realization and how important it is for one who's in this material existence to aspire for some level of realization. And he would say that it is a science. So it's not, I would believe that it's probably a term that Prabhupada used, science of self-realization. I'm sure in the course of his lectures he probably used that term. Otherwise, an intelligent disciple might have come up with the term. But I don't know for sure, but I will believe that that Prabhupada used that term in his lectures, Science of Self-Realization. Just like we heard Goswami Maharaj, he came up with different titles. He came up with the title, Search for Sri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful. Very nice title and poetic also. But then Srila Sridhar Maharaj told him, yes, now you presented half of the equation, that everyone is looking for Krishna, but then the other half will be the Lord's loving search for his lost servant. We're looking for Krishna, and Krishna is looking for his lost servants. So that was the other half of the equation. In that case, Guru Maharaj came up with a suggestion for what the next subject or the next title should be. Now, we can also understand, based on what Srila Prabhupada's emphasis would be. He's always presenting things in a very clear explanation.
And for Guru and his grace, Goswami was going to name it Guru heavier than the Himalayas, right? And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj said it would be better to name it Guru and his grace.
Yes. Okay. You can play Kartos again. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jawite Vignana Shabista Puram H.I. Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Dasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Janame Janame More Abilas Nechai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilaban Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamuna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajaka Charyashta Tara Sada Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajaka Charyashta Tara Sada Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Premsiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvabaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai Shri Dham Mayapur Ki Jai Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Shri Koladvip Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai Ganga Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai all the assembled devotees Ki Jai Gaur Brahmanande Hari Hari Bo
Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai